There's a room you've never entered. No door, no lock, just you. And most men would rather die than spend 48 hours inside it. Not because it's painful, but because it reveals what they've spent their entire lives running from. The truth that they are nothing without an audience. You think loneliness is your enemy. It's not. It's your mirror. And what you see in that mirror, most of you won't survive it. Today, you'll learn why the men who rule this world demand what you fear most. Why every tyrant, every system, every algorithm needs you terrified of solitude. Because the moment you're not, you become ungovernable. Let me tell you what you are, not what you pretend to be on Instagram, what you actually are. You're a herd animal, and herd animals get slaughtered. You can't sit in silence for 10 minutes without reaching for your phone. Can't eat dinner alone without a podcast in your ears. Can't walk down the street without checking who's watching. Why? Because 10,000 years ago, being alone meant death. Exile from the tribe wasn't punishment, it was execution. No tribe meant no protection from predators, no shared resources, no chance of reproduction. Your ancestors who feared solitude survived. The ones who didn't, their genes died with them. Dr. Matthew Lieberman's research at UCLA proved something disturbing. Social pain, rejection, isolation, exclusion activates the exact same neural pathways as physical pain. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a broken arm and a broken connection. So every time you're alone, every time that phone doesn't buzz, every time you walk into a room and no one looks up, your amygdala screams, you're going to die. But here's the trap. You're not living 10,000 years ago. Solitude won't kill you, but your fear of it will. In 1951, Solomon Asch ran an experiment. Simple question, which line is longest? Alone, people got it right 99% of the time. But put them in a room where everyone else deliberately gave the wrong answer, 75% conformed. They knew the answer, they could see it, but the fear of standing alone was stronger than truth. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote, "The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe." He called it herd morality. The masses create moral systems that punish independence and reward conformity. Being different is labeled antisocial. Preferring solitude makes you broken. Thinking for yourself makes you dangerous. And here's the darkest part. Gustave Le Bon discovered this in 1895. In his work, The Crowd, he wrote that when you enter a group, your IQ drops by 15 to 20 points. Read that again. Your intelligence, your ability to think, dissolves in groups larger than 5 people. You become a copy, not an original. Watch yourself next time you're in a group. Watch how quickly you adjust your opinion when someone disagrees, how fast you laugh at jokes that aren't funny, how easily you betray your own thoughts for acceptance. You think you're connecting, you're not, you're dissolving. Every time you can't sit through dinner alone, you're admitting something. You're admitting you're not enough. Every time you check your phone for validation, you're a rat pressing a lever for dopamine. And rats in cages don't rule the world. Kings do, and kings are comfortable alone. Let me show you the cage you're living in and who built it. 1928, Edward Bernays, Sigmund Freud's nephew, the man who weaponized psychology for profit. He took his uncle's research on the unconscious mind and asked one question: how do we make people buy things they don't need? His answer: don't sell products, sell identity. He convinced women to smoke by calling cigarettes freedom torches, not selling tobacco, selling liberation. This is your world now. They're not selling you clothes, they're selling you belonging. Not selling you a nightclub, selling you relevance. Not selling you a phone, selling you an escape from yourself. Your fear of being alone is a product, and you've been buying it your entire life. Tristan Harris, former Google design ethicist, said there are 1,000 people on the other side of the screen whose job it is to break down your self-regulation. Read that again. 1,000 engineers working every single day to make sure you can't be alone. The red notification badge, designed to trigger urgency. The infinite scroll removes natural stopping points, keeps you sedated. The pull to refresh, borrowed from slot machines. B.F. Skinner proved it in 1956. Variable reward schedules create the strongest addiction. You don't know when you'll get a like, or a comment, or a match, so you check and check and check. You're not using your phone is using you. Every second you spend scrolling, you generate data. Data they sell. You're not the customer, you're the product. The average person now spends 7 hours a day in digital company, 7 hours running from themselves. Because here's what they know, what they'll never tell you. The moment you turn off the noise, the moment you sit in actual silence, their power over you evaporates. A man who's comfortable alone doesn't need to buy belonging, doesn't need to consume identity, doesn't need their product. He's unprofitable. And the entire economy is built on your fear of unplugging. FOMO isn't organic, it's engineered. Every limited time offer, every join the community, every don't be left behind is a reminder being alone is dangerous. You need us, but you don't. You never did. And that's the truth that terrifies them. Because a man who needs nothing can't be sold anything, can't be controlled, can't be predicted.
Here's what you're actually afraid of. Not loneliness, truth. Carl Jung spent his life studying the human psyche, and he discovered something that destroyed most of his patients. He called it the shadow, the parts of yourself you've rejected, repressed, denied, the liar, the coward, the fraud. Every time you were weak and pretended you were strong, every time you lied and called it strategy, every time you ran and called it wisdom, it's all still there, waiting. Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Read it again. Your shadow is driving and you think you're in control. Every self-destructive pattern, every relationship you sabotage, every goal you abandon, it's not bad luck. It's the part of you that you refuse to face. And solitude forces confrontation. Because in silence, you can't lie. There's no one to perform for, no audience to convince, no distractions to hide behind. Just you, and the version of you that you buried. Blaise Pascal wrote in 1670, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." You fill every second with noise because silence shows you what you've become, not what you pretend to be, what you actually are. Dr. Terence Real discovered that men are conditioned to avoid vulnerability at all costs. Boys don't cry. Be a man. Toughen up. So we bury it, the fear, the sadness, the shame, and we build entire lives on top of that grave. High-achieving men self-destruct at alarming rates, not because they failed, but because they succeeded and realized success didn't fill the hole. Because the hole isn't about achievement, it's about the 10-year-old inside you who was told his feelings didn't matter. And he's still there, waiting. In that room you won't enter. Solitude doesn't create the shadow, it reveals it. And revelation is the first step to integration. Jung said, you don't destroy the shadow, you integrate it. You sit with the liar and learn why he lies. You sit with the coward and learn what he's protecting. You sit with the fraud and learn what he's trying to prove. And slowly, you become whole. But most men never get there. They scroll, they drink, they fuck strangers, they work 80 hours a week. Anything to avoid that chair. Because sitting in it means facing the truth, that you're not who you pretend to be. And for most men, that truth is unbearable. Marcus Aurelius died 1800 years ago. His body rotted, his empire crumbled,
His statues eroded, but his thoughts? His thoughts still command millions. Your thoughts? They evaporate the moment someone disagrees. Why? Because his were forged in solitude. Yours are rented from the crowd. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the world, emperor of Rome, commander of legions. He could have had anything, anyone. But every night after the politics and warfare, he sat alone and wrote, not for publication, not for legacy, for himself. You have power over your mind, not outside of events. Realize this, and you will find strength. He commanded 50 legions, but he knew true power is internal, built in silence. Seneca, another Stoic, advisor to emperors, wrote an essay that will outlive every social media post you've ever made, on the shortness of life. His message: we're tight-fisted with property and money, yet think too little of wasting time. You'll fight someone over $20, but you'll give Netflix 4 hours tonight without a second thought. You'll protect your wallet, but you'll hemorrhage your life. Seneca wrote this because he understood most men aren't living, they're performing. Performing for bosses, for women, for followers, for strangers whose names they'll never know. And in the performance, they lose themselves. Solitude is where you stop performing, where you reclaim stolen time, where you build an unconquerable mind. Epictetus, born a slave, owned, beaten, crippled, but he became philosophy's greatest liberator. How? He realized something in his isolation. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond. They could chain his body, but his mind? Ungovernable. Freedom isn't a location, it's internal, and solitude is where you find it. Every spiritual tradition understood this. Jesus, 40 days in the desert. Buddha, alone under the Bodhi tree. Muhammad, isolated in a cave. Moses, 40 years in the wilderness. Every prophet, every sage, every master, forged in isolation. Because solitude is the crucible, and weak men can't survive the heat. They run back to the crowd, back to distraction, back to comfort, and they stay weak. But the ones who stay, who endure the fire, who sit with the pain, the boredom, the fear, they emerge unbreakable. Marcus Aurelius knew this. Before every major military campaign, he practiced what he called returning to the self. Total isolation, no advisors, no generals, just him and his thoughts, recalibrating. Because he understood, if you don't know yourself, the world will tell you who you are, and you'll spend your life dancing on someone else's strings. There's a difference between isolation and solitude. Isolation is running away. Solitude is strategic withdrawal. Isolation makes you weaker. Solitude makes you dangerous. Friedrich Nietzsche understood this. He wrote about the Übermensch, the overman, the man who creates his own values, separate from the herd. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. Most men are drowning in other people's expectations, their parents' dreams, their culture's rules, their society's definitions of success. They never stop to ask, what do I actually want? Because that question requires silence, and silence is where you meet the stranger you've been avoiding, yourself. Solitude is where you murder the false self, the version of you built for approval, and birth the sovereign, the version that answers to no one. Robert Greene, Law 4, always say less than necessary. Watch a negotiation. Who wins? The one who's comfortable in silence, because the one who talks is revealing his desperation, his need, his weakness. The silent man is dangerous, not because he's withholding information, but because he needs nothing from you. And a man who needs nothing cannot be manipulated. This is power, real power, not muscle,
not money, immunity to leverage. They can threaten you with isolation. You're already comfortable there. They can threaten you with rejection. You've already rejected the need for approval. They can threaten you with abandonment. You've already mastered being alone. You're ungovernable. Napoleon Bonaparte, exiled to Elba, defeated, imprisoned on an island. Most men would have broken. Napoleon? He used the solitude, studied his mistakes, analyzed his enemies, planned his return. 100 days later, he escaped, returned to France, and an entire nation rallied to a man who spent months alone with his thoughts. Why? Because solitude doesn't weaken resolve, it concentrates it. There's a dark truth here. The most effective leaders, strategists, and manipulators share certain traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, the dark triad. And these traits are amplified by solitude, not because solitude makes you evil, but because it removes emotional contamination. When you're comfortable alone, you think strategically, not emotionally. You see people as chess pieces, not friends or enemies, just pieces, and you move them accordingly. This makes you dangerous, not to hurt people, but because you can't be played. When you don't need approval, flattery doesn't work. When you don't fear rejection, threats don't work. When you don't crave belonging, exclusion doesn't work. You become a fortress.
Let's get practical, because philosophy without application is just mental masturbation. Here's how you weaponize your solitude. Protocol 1, the 48-hour reset, once per quarter. Total isolation, no phone, no internet, no people. 48 hours, just you. Marcus Aurelius did this before every major campaign. He called it returning to the self, because in the noise of empire, he'd lose himself. The reset forces recalibration. You confront what you've been avoiding, the lies you've been telling yourself, the patterns you've been ignoring. First 6 hours, withdraw. Your brain screams for stimulation, hands twitching, mind racing, boredom like physical pain. This is the addiction revealing itself. Hour 12, anger, at yourself, at the world, at the emptiness. Good, let it out. You've been burying it under Netflix and notifications. Hour 24, clarity begins. The noise fades, thoughts settle, patterns emerge. You see your life from 30,000 feet. The problems you couldn't solve, suddenly obvious. The people draining you, glaringly clear. The goals you abandoned, calling you back. Hour 48, when you emerge, you're different. Reactions that used to trigger you, bounce off. People who used to control you, you see the strings. Noise that used to drown you, irrelevant. Protocol 2, daily solitude blocks. 1 hour, every day, before the world wakes up. No inputs, only processing. Naval Ravikant, clear thinking is the ultimate leverage, but you can't think clearly in noise. Your brain is a receiver, and it's been receiving 10,000 signals simultaneously. Solitude is how you tune to one frequency, your own. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent 30 years studying peak performance. He discovered flow state, the zone where time disappears, where you're operating at 500% efficiency. And flow requires one thing above all else: uninterrupted, deep work. Every interruption costs you 23 minutes to return to deep focus. Studies at UC Irvine proved this. 23 minutes. Check your phone 10 times a day, you've lost 4 hours of productive thinking. Protocol: 90-minute creative blocks. Total isolation. One task. No multitasking. No distractions. Do this once a day, you'll outproduce 99% of people. Why? Because they're busy. You're focused. Busy is a drug. Focus is a weapon. Protocol 3, voluntary discomfort. The Stoics practiced something radical. They simulated loss. Seneca, one of the richest men in Rome, would spend weeks living like a beggar. Why? To eliminate fear. If you practice poverty, you stop fearing it. If you practice solitude, you stop fearing abandonment. If you practice discomfort, you stop fearing suffering. What you're comfortable with, you're immune to. Modern application. Once a month, 24-hour solo fast. No food, no entertainment, just water and silence. Your mind will scream. Let it. You're training it to obey you, not dopamine, not cravings, not impulses. You. Protocol 4. Strategic re-entry. Here's what most men get wrong. They isolate, find clarity, then immediately dive back into chaos and lose everything they gained. Solitude isn't about becoming a hermit, it's about becoming strategic. You don't avoid people, you just stop needing them, and that changes everything. When you return from solitude, set boundaries, protect your mornings, guard your focus, choose your company deliberately, not because you're antisocial, because your time is valuable, and most people are trying to waste it. Here's the paradox that will redefine your life. The moment you no longer need people, you become the person everyone needs. Robert Cialdini, psychologist who spent his career studying influence, he discovered the scarcity principle. What's rare is valuable, what's abundant is worthless. A man who's always available, no value. A man who's selective with his time, priceless. Why? Because scarcity signals value. When you're comfortable alone, you create scarcity in your presence. People crave what they can't always have. Arthur Schopenhauer, 19th century philosopher, he wrote about the hedgehog dilemma. Hedgehogs need warmth to survive winter, but their spines hurt each other when they get too close. So they must find the perfect distance, close enough for warmth, far enough to avoid pain. This is human intimacy. Too close, suffocation. Too far, loneliness. But here's what Schopenhauer understood. If you can generate your own warmth, you never need to get too close. You can engage without dependency, love without desperation, connect without losing yourself. And that's magnetic, because people can smell need, and it repels them. But self-sufficiency, it attracts. Why? Because it's rare. Solitude is the alchemy. You enter it as lead, needy, reactive, dependent. You endure the darkness, the confrontation, the integration, and you emerge as gold, centered, abundant, sovereign. Every spiritual tradition understood this. Jesus, 40 days in the desert, returned and changed history. Buddha, alone under the Bodhi tree, awakened, founded a religion. Muhammad, isolated in a cave, received revelation. Moses, 40 years in the wilderness, became the liberator. The pattern is undeniable. Departure from the crowd, descent into isolation, confrontation with the shadow, and return with power. But here's the crucial part. You don't return for them. You return because you're complete, and completion radiates. This is the superpower. Not the ability to be alone, the ability to be whole while alone. So you can enter any room, any relationship, any situation without needing anything from anyone. And when you need nothing, you command everything. Not through force, through presence. So here's your test. Not tomorrow, tonight. Turn off your phone. Sit in a room alone. No music, no podcast, no book. Just you and your thoughts. 1 hour. Most of you won't make it 10 minutes. You'll panic, make an excuse. I have to check this. Just one quick look. I'll do it tomorrow. And that's how you'll know. You're still a slave. Slave to validation. Slave to distraction. Slave to the crowd. Still controllable. Still predictable. Still weak. But if you can sit there, if you can face what emerges from the silence, the shame, the regret, the truth about who you've become, if you can stay when every fiber of your being screams to run, you'll touch something most men never will. Actual freedom.
The Romans called it invictus, unconquered, not by enemies, by yourself. And when you're no longer at war with your own mind, when you're no longer running from your own thoughts, when you're no longer desperate for someone, anyone to fill the void, you become unbreakable. This is the solitary throne. It's not for everyone. Most men will spend their entire lives in the crowd, seeking, performing, disappearing, and they'll die having never met themselves, never knowing what they could have been. But you have a choice. You can keep running, keep scrolling, keep numbing, or you can walk through that door, sit in that chair, and face what you've been avoiding your entire life. Now here's the thing. Most people will watch this and do nothing. They'll nod along, feel momentarily inspired, then immediately open another tab and disappear back into the noise. But there's a small percentage, maybe 1%, who are actually building this fortress, who are serious about becoming ungovernable. If you're one of them, if you're committed to this path, then stay connected to this work. Subscribe, not because I need your validation, I don't, but because you need the reminder. Because the herd will pull you back, the algorithm will try to sedate you, and you'll need these truths repeatedly hammered into your consciousness until they become unshakable. The men who subscribed to Marcus Aurelius's philosophy 2,000 years ago, their lineage of thought survived empires. The ones who didn't, forgotten. Your move. The cage was never locked.